Hi, everybody. I'm Jeffrey Driscoll.
And I'm Jim Kerr.
And welcome to 15 Minutes of Fame. Well, Jim, it was an interesting week for labor talks in the NHL, but not like a good type of interesting.
Yeah, if this was the GABBYs, which
Right.
it isn't.
It isn't. That's
if
later
it was, this would be a bad, I think. There was a lot of optimism after the two sides met for consecutive days because that's what we have for excitement.
That's right.
These days in Canada. Ooh, they met.
on. Ooh.
Goodness, I can't wait to hear how they characterize the talks.
Oh, totally.
But so we're happy about that. I thought, okay, maybe there's some progress. Then they met on the weekend, and it was like, no, it's not really going well.
No.
Then they stopped meeting, right? So then the silence began. The mudslinging started to happen again. And then we started to hear rumors that the NHL wanted a 2-week moratorium
I can't believe that.
on talk. So rather than just not talk, they wanted to make it official and not talk. The players said, we want to meet. We want to meet all the time. Why do you want to? And then it was, oh, well, we try to give these offers and you say no all the time, which is funny because the NHL has turned down everything that the NHLPA has put forward.
Yeah.
But so they're coming out and saying every time we put something out there, the PA just says no, and it's like we're trying, we just want to get a deal, and then they ask for a 2-week break. So I don't know. I think they're supposed to meet this week. The 2 weeks didn't quite cut it because I think everyone was like, "What? What are you talking about? A 2-week break? Because that would be another paycheck for players. That's another
right.
2 weeks closer to canceled. Another month canceled. Just ridiculous stuff going on. Right? It's starting to make my head hurt.
Oh, totally. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they're not meeting. Like, everything is going against these guys right now, both sides. But it seems like it's absolutely ridiculous, and it is. But there are some interesting things said this week by current and former players. What kind of stuff do you make out of that?
Well, we had Sidney Crosby saying the NHL doesn't actually want to negotiate, while the players have tried to show that they do want to negotiate. And I think I can get behind those comments, but at the same time, I mean, the players aren't scot-free here. Like
No.
the players are in this just as much as the NHL is. But it's interesting to hear a guy like Sidney Crosby, who's generally, I mean, as the sort of poster boy, right? He's not a controversial guy.
No.
He doesn't come out and make big statements. But his words do carry a lot of weight in the NHL because, let's face it, he's one of the best players in the world. Mark Recchi came out and said the longer this goes, the worse the deal gets for the players. And right away, people came out and said, like, A, as a former player, like,
What
come
are you
on.
doing?
B, I heard that the TSN guys mentioning like that he's now kind of on the owner's side because of his business dealings. So you kind of got to take what he says as a former player, current executive sort of thing. Like, well, I don't know what to buy. But furthermore, is that the offer has been getting better. So I think the players are showing resolve. I don't think the NHL expected the resolve that they're seeing from the players, and I think the deal has gotten better and will continue to get better until we see something happen. TSN's Gord Miller said he spoke with an executive who thinks this could bleed into next season.
Brutal.
There's a couple of players made comments like that in the early stages of the lockout, but I mean, serious? Can you imagine it wipes out this season and they're still talking about it well into training camp time next year? Like that would be bad news. Darren Dreger also said that a lot of players are optimistic, but owners are not optimistic. So, I mean, that pretty much sums up talks right there. You've got one side that's like, hey, maybe we can get a deal done, and another side that's like, I don't think we can get a deal done. That's not quite how negotiations work as far as I haven't read up on too deep into negotiations,
Right.
but I think that generally that's not how they work.
I
think there's a
you're
deal.
right.
I don't think so.
No,
Okay,
not so much.
yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, give us a call. Whatever.
Give us a call.
Yeah, we'll take a moratorium. What's a moratorium? I don't know.
Getting out the dictionary.
Sounds exotic.
Yeah.
Is it a cruise?
It's not a cruise. That's where you get a deal done. That's what we should recommend is the NHLPA cruise. And you can't get off the cruise until you got a deal done. They'd be like there the whole winter. It'd be fantastic. Well, from one fight to another, let's take a look at UFC 154, the much-awaited return of Georges St. Pierre to the octagon, Jim.
My goodness, what a fight!
That was great. Absolutely.
He looks big, hey? Like he came out and you could see that he's in fantastic shape. Carlos Condit was a good, he was a good competitor for him, but I think there was no way that GSP was losing that fight in his mind. There was a moment there where it was a little bit shaky, where he got clapped upside the head with a foot and sent him right back. You could see he was stunned. I know, I was like, no.
I was worried too.
Please don't go out like this. But it was a good fight. It was a fantastic return for him. His takedowns were phenomenal. He doesn't look like he's missed a beat. He looks like that knee is perfectly. He said after the fight, like, if my knee wasn't 100%, there's no way I would have fought. So, but it's funny, we talk about like, oh, I hope his knee holds up. Like, probably had the surgery like a year ago.
Yeah, it's pretty much a year ago now, and something.
He's it's not like he has a job and he's training like after work. Like, this is one focus. So I think whatever changes he made to his camp, and I know he was saying that rather than go to see one of his trainers, he had them in at his camp. So instead of traveling back and forth and the stress that comes with that, I guess. I think that the changes that he made were obviously the right ones, but I think this is the first step in his ascent again. But it's great to see that belt unified, and it's great to have him back.
Does this set up the super fight between him and Anderson Silva, maybe at a catch weight?
Yeah, it's interesting because I don't think he is. Let's face it. This is something the fans want to see,
definitely,
and really not. I don't even know how many of the fans really want to see it. Like myself, I love Anderson Silva and I love GSP. The thought of one of them losing to the other one, I mean, that kind of sucks. I don't want to see either of these guys lose. The fact that they'd have to fight at a catch weight, that I'd like to see it. Part of me wants to see it. Part of me, there's plenty of great welterweight fighters in that division that GSP could go up against, and probably more meaningful fights than GSP Anderson Silva. And it's not like that's the only fight that they could do, for that kind of big billing type of show, because there's any number of fights, Jones Silva, for example, that would be just as big a draw as.
Probably. See, that's the difference.
GSP Silva, like that pay-per-view,
the biggest draw the last 10 years.
Charts, man. That could be the thing that dethrones boxing, which somehow still kills at the box office. I don't know how, because nobody watches boxing.
To watch it,
admits to watching boxing, or especially with MMA being where it is. Do people outside of Las Vegas, Nevada, watch boxing?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Totally.
But there's talk of a GSP Silva at Cowboys Stadium, that
100,000 people.
That monstrous thing with the gigantic screen and all. Like that would be cool. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't know if that's. The more I talk to the guys that are a little more well versed in MMA and UFC than I am, the more I think like maybe that's not the fight, because there are, like I said, there are some solid welterweights.
Yeah, there are.
That if I was a contender in welterweight and the champion of my division is off fighting in other classes, I wouldn't be happy about that.
No,
but,
absolutely. No,
but
I
agree. At the end of the day, and I think this is something where if Dana White wants it, he'll probably get it, because he can put the money in front of them that'll change anyone. I'd fight anybody for the money that he would put up.
Yeah, and that's what it sounds like it's going to be. It sounds like they're really going to put some money up to get these guys fighting.
I just don't know if I don't know if GSP could beat Anderson Silva.
I at this point really don't. It would take some serious training and some serious bulking up. That's for sure.
I think if that's the fight he takes, I think he'll, he's as good, if not better, at preparation than anyone else. So I think he would be a guy who could beat him. I just don't know. Silva's he'd be a hard fighter to study for, I think.
Yeah,
you don't know.
That's fair.
Like that Stephen Bonner Forrest Griffin commercial out of that last fight. Like, well, so what do you think I should do? Well, don't go right at him.
Yeah.
And smash to a clip. Forrest throwing a punch and getting.
Yeah.
So that would be a great fight to see, but
who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. let's skip right over to baseball, where it's been quite the week for the Toronto Blue Jays. They made a massive statement with a trade followed right behind. I couldn't believe it, with a big name signing.
Yeah, they sent a package of players to the Miami Marlins for pitchers Mark Burley and Josh Johnson and shortstop Jose Reyes. Then they went out and signed Miguel Cabrera, who led the NL with a .346 batting average, though he was suspended for 50 games for elevated testosterone. But, I mean, he's a great player. I was very surprised that they got that. Those pitchers will take a great deal of pressure off a guy like Ricky Romero, who will hopefully come out. And, I mean, I know he had some off-season surgery, and it was a tough year for him. But if he comes out charged up and ready to go, and he's got those two dudes in his rotation as well, lights out.
Totally,
man, that's fantastic. So, a healthy Joey Bats, a healthy. Man, they've got a good healthy Brett Lawrie. They've got a good lineup, and they were decimated by injuries this year. But with these additions and the guys they have being back in the saddle, they could actually be a team that competes.
Well, so you're thinking it was a brutal team, which they were, and so it's brutal team to contender, right? Is that how it works?
Well, not quite as simple as that. Commissioner Bud Selig says the trade is under review because many see it as a salary dump a year after public money funded most of a brand new sparkling stadium. And it's funny because we're looking here and we're saying, oh man, the Blue Jays making a big splash. They're spending this money. They're spending all this money to be better. But these are all players that Miami did that last year. Yeah. They brought in Burley and Reyes and for big money, and a year later they're shipping them away. So, but the mayor of Miami even wrote a letter to the league. So he wants them to take a look. But I've heard Selig say that, if you look at the package of players Miami gets, it's not like it was, these three guys for a couple of bats and a used ball. Right? But it's the other kind of awkward thing here is the Marlins don't give out no trade clauses, but Burley and Reyes both say they were given verbal agreements that they wouldn't be dealt. So I don't even know where you go with that.
No.
Like, you said, no, I didn't. Yeah, you did. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. No, I didn't. Okay, rock, paper, scissors for it.
Oh, exactly.
Oh, I'll go to Toronto. But I think one of the other strange things about this or awkward things about this is that Burley has a pit bull. Pit bulls aren't allowed in Ontario.
Oh,
so
that's interesting. I didn't know about
that's one reason why he might not want to go.
His dog.
Yeah, it's strange.
That is
very strange. But hey, the Blue Jays are going out. They're trying to make moves. Good for them.
Absolutely. Real quick, looks like the Calgary Stampeders are going to take on the Toronto Argonauts for the Grey Cup. Who do you think? Who's got it?
Can I just say, first of all, that I was so wrong?
Yeah,
How did that happen?
Montreal losing and the BC Lions losing? Who would have thought either of those things was going to happen?
What a league, my friend. What a league.
Absolutely.
Well, this is a tough one. Regional hatred versus regional on a grander scale.
That's right.
That's tough. You know what? It would be nice. I know Toronto's garbage and center of the universe, but how sweet it would be pretty sweet if Ricky Ray, because we still like Ricky Ray out here.
Absolutely.
We didn't trade him. The team traded him.
That's right.
But it would be nice to see him come out as a grizzled vet and go to the dance one more time.
Absolutely. In the 100th year of the Grey Cup in Toronto, with the Grey Cup game in Toronto, and I agree.
Justin Bieber's going to be there.
Absolutely. We're big fans of Ricky Ray here, and I got to go.
I thought you were going to say Justin Bieber.
We're less fans of Justin Bieber, but more fans of
Ray
Ricky
than
Ray.
Bieber for sure.
Yeah. I got to go to Toronto as well. So let's check back.
Can't ship to Calgary no matter what.
Well, and that's the thing. What can I do? Like, I got to pick Toronto over Calgary.
Gotta love the CFL though. Kevin Glenn versus Ricky Ray.
Oh, Ricky Ray
in the for the Grey Cup. What?
Yeah, I know, right? Weird. Let's start the GABBYs this week with a good to the Stanford's women's basketball team, who beat Baylor 71-69 on Friday. Ended a 42-game win streak for the Lady Bears. We've talked about them before, dating back to the 2011 NCAA tournament. Amazing.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
Well, you win.
In their case, they win most and lose one.
Lose one, yes.
But that's a 42. Like anytime a win streak stretches over seasons.
Yes, that's something.
Congratulations.
Else. Absolutely.
That's awesome. A good this week to Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I took the name this time,
See,
Jeff.
I was going to say, I was going to give a good to you for taking the bullet
It comes
there.
up with a red squiggly underneath,
That's
but
right.
it is spelled right. He scored all 4 goals for Sweden in a 4-2 win over England during an international friendly this week, including a bicycle kick from outside the 18-yard box. It was insane.
Absolutely.
It's being hailed as one of the best goals of the year, easily. But the goalie comes out and heads it because he's outside of his box, and Ibrahimovic just waits, drops for him, he just boop over the head. And I don't think anybody expected it because everyone's just kind of like, "What
Did that happen?
Oh." But fantastic stuff from Zlatan.
Love it. And a good to Buster Posey and Miguel Cabrera, your NL and AL most valuable players. Posey is the first catcher in 70 years to earn the honor and was returning from like an amazing, brutal leg injury, while Cabrera was the first Triple Crown winner and an obvious to win that. One first Triple Crown winner in 45 years, so good work to both of them. That leg injury, though, Jim, wow.
To come back from something like that and be as good as he was.
Oh, totally.
And he was big in the playoffs, too.
Yeah, that's right.
Big time. On the bad side, this is going to be fun. Let's start with Nik Lewis of the Calgary Stampeders.
Oh, man.
He caught some flack this week for a tweet that he sent out that read, and I quote, I just bought OJ's gloves on eBay. Now all I need is a white girl named Nicole. # maybe a little too far. Yeah, I think this one goes down as a come on, man.
Absolutely.
But he took a bit of flack for that.
As he should have. Still with the Stamps, a badge Drew Tate. He got drilled against the Riders last week and said at the break that he didn't even remember the first half, but happened to stay in the game. He orchestrated the last minute, if you remember, game-winning drive and had to try and clarify his didn't remember comments by spinning it as wanted to forget. Didn't remember,
which are two
wanted
different
to
things.
forget. Yeah, two totally different things.
Two way different things.
Interesting. Then it turned out that he actually suffered a fractured forearm during the game, so he ended up missing the West Final. Amazing.
Yeah, that's quite a... So you ride Kevin Glenn all year. Drew Tate comes back. You put Tate in for the playoffs. Tate gets hurt.
Yeah.
Got to go back to Glenn. Like, wow.
And now they're in the Grey Cup.
And now they're in the Grey Cup with Kevin Glenn.
That's right.
Pulling balls. I thought they should have stuck with him anyways just because he was
got you there.
He's the guy all season. Yeah, but I guess it's almost poetic justice that he's that he's going to be throwing for them in the Grey Cup after all that.
Definitely.
Let's give a bad to the NBA refs who sort of ruined the party for Golden State rookie Draymond Green this past week. He was pumped after making his first ever NBA basket, a 3-pointer. Pretty sweet. He gets teed up on the way back
I can't
for taunting. They said he was celebrating too hard. First ever basket, man.
Totally.
But now he's got his first ever technical right there as well. Get that out of the way.
Two and one. 2 birds, 1 stone. I like that.
That's right.
That's good. Well, the punchline this week is a doozy. So the conspiracy theorists in Minnesota are the punchline this week, Jim.
Yeah, and I sort of hinted on Twitter about this one being one of the most outrageous stories. I wanted to talk to people about it all weekend, but I didn't want to ruin it. I wanted to keep it just for this moment.
Nice.
So here we go. Are you ready?
Yes. I'm
all
ready.
Right. The chairman of the St. Paul African American Leadership Council and others say the Minnesota Timberwolves only have 5 black players on their 15-man roster because they want to sell more tickets to the overwhelmingly white fan base. Okay, where do we even start here? So they've got 5 black guys. They've got 5 white Americans, a Puerto Rican guy who counts as white, I guess, a Spanish guy who counts as white, I guess, 2 Russians, and a guy from Montenegro. That's pretty international.
Yeah,
that's
pretty international.
We'll put that off to the side. These racists think that if you have white guys on your basketball team, more people will watch. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Obviously, white men can't jump. If it's a ploy to sell tickets, they sold 90% of their tickets last year with a majority black roster because people keep track of these things. Maybe they want to sell less tickets.
No, maybe that's their goal. Sell less tickets.
The fact that someone would be like, hey, this team, they're racist because they don't have... It's not that they don't have any black players. There's 15 roster spots. 5 dudes are black. one dude's Puerto Rican, one dude's Spanish, one dude's from Montenegro, wherever that is. Two guys are Russian, and then there's just 5 white American dudes. You wouldn't. I can't see how someone would be like, I see what's happening here.
Oh.
What?
To think that race even comes into how you put together a team these days in 2012 boggles my mind.
And to be quite honest, maybe this is bad, but like, if my team had mostly white players, I would be like, oh, that's too. If I was the only white guy on the team, I would expect that we were going to do very well.
There you go.
Just on stereotypes alone.
Yeah, that's true.
White guys are bad at basketball. There's only
a
handful of
There's a movie about it.
Yeah, and it just so happens that Minnesota has one of the better white players in Kevin Love.
Yeah.
But they're racist. How? I can't believe that that's a story that like made it onto the World Wide Web.
Absolutely.
There's like groups speaking out about it. Maybe it's a ploy to sell tickets.
Unbelievable.
Come on, man. That's terrible.
I'm with
That's
you.
the worst ploy to sell tickets ever.
No kidding. There are way better marketing tactics than that.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm with you.
Unbelievable.
And on that note, folks, that's our 15 Minutes of Fame up for this week. Join us again next week when we get a whole new 15 Minutes of Fame. In the meantime, I'm Jeff Driscoll.
And I'm all that is man.
There you go. Have a good week, folks. Nice.